Hey, how's everybody doing out there? All right, so it's a beautiful day. It's September. Look at that weather. Oh my gosh. Awesome outside. And it is sales season. So let's talk about commercial landscape sales. I want to talk to you guys about that real quick here because a lot of people are always asking, hey, how do I get into commercial maintenance? Like, how do we get our first contract? Or how do we grow that division? How do we make that happen? So now is the time. Now's the time. So you need to get out there and start knocking on doors, sending emails, whatever it takes. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. So basically, what I'm trying to do, or what I do in general, if I want to increase my sales and grow my company, I do a lot of cold and warm calling, I guess you want to call it. I send a lot of emails. So for example, if you're looking at an HOA, let's look at homeowners associations. So say you're a residential company here and you are working within an HOA, doing a couple of people's homes in there. You need to find out who is in charge, who's the president, who's the person in charge of the landscape for that homeowners association, and shoot them out an email and say, hey, I already do some houses in here. I see that you guys have an entranceway and a pool, and you have, tennis courts, and you have other things like that. I'd certainly like an opportunity to bid on those, and maybe you could even use your customer that you're doing now for a reference. If you can't get that customer to tell you who is in charge, or they don't know, then the best bet is if you go online, there's a lot, like in my market here, there's a ton of homeowners associations that have websites. So you can go on there and you can just get the emails for everybody that's on the board there. I usually just shoot an email out to everybody. And so let's talk about the emails real quick. So what I'll do is I will make a basic email. Basically, hey, this is Steve with Southwest Landscape. We are a company in your area. We're looking to grow, and you don't even have to put looking to grow. We're looking for other properties. Well, that's weird. That's what happens when our power goes out for a second. And I've got this like battery backup thing and it makes this weird noise. So that's that. But anyway, so as far as the emails are concerned, I put together just a basic email. I copy and pasted, introducing myself, talking about my company, saying that we're interested in working with you. And that way, if they don't know you, they don't know that you're there, they're not going to give you an opportunity to bid. So that's the first thing. Second of all, you can Google any of the other HOAs in your area, homeowner associations. And if they have websites, just do the same thing. And they're going to start to, at least they know who you are. And a lot of them will get back to you. Some of them won't. They may say, hey, we're not bidding this year, but we'll be doing it next year. So you need to put that in your notes and make sure that you contact them again next year. The other thing is looking up property management companies, looking up apartment companies. One person in an apartment might own 50 apartments. Same thing with, fast food restaurants, gas stations, if that's your thing, whatever it is. We did a bunch of Burger Kings one year. We had like 55 of them. And the reason we got those is because I walked into them when I was out cold calling, gave my card to a manager. The manager gave it to whoever the owner was. And the owner then gave it to the regional manager. And we picked up like 55 Burger Kings. And that's the example of like just a cold call, just walking into a business and dropping some cards. So, you need to do all of the above. And you can't just do like 5, you have to do a lot. So you need to dedicate some serious time to this. Either shoot out your emails in the morning, before you go out if you're a one-man operation or whatever, or do it after work. Whatever you can do to get yourself out there and get yourself noticed if you want to grow. And if you want to get into commercial landscape maintenance, they need to know who you are. Sometimes it takes a couple of years to get an account. Sometimes it takes 10 years to get an account. It's taken me, I have a big HOA that I worked on for like 8 years. I contacted them like every year. And I'm not being a pest, just once a year. Hey, this is Steve. I'm still here. I'd really like the opportunity to bid your property. Finally, I got it. And I've had it now for 6 years, and I signed another 3-year contract this year. So that paid a lot of dividends. Just a cold call. I didn't know these people, but I knew that they had this huge HOA in our area. And so I really wanted that property, so I went after it. And eventually I got it. So it doesn't always work out that way. but you have to start somewhere. So give yourself a goal. Hey, I'm going to put out 10 emails a day for the next month, and I'm going to shoot those out, every morning or, every day or whatever. And you will get some results. Okay. It's going to take some time, but you will get some results. Keep track of that stuff. Now, I don't know if you have a CRM. We use LMN for our CRM as far as like keeping track of our customers, but I'm old school, so you can't see it because my computers are asleep right now, but I have a spreadsheet. I keep track of all of my potential sales on that spreadsheet. That way, it's really easy for me to just pop in there, look at my spreadsheet, see I basically just have the account. Once I bid it, how much I bid it for, if there's any extras like mulch and fertilizer, those are separate line items. And then I put my contact, and I also put the contact's email and phone number on that spreadsheet. That way I can just get right in there, look at that spreadsheet and call that person up or shoot them an email. Basically, I'll follow up. Follow up is so important. Like, make sure you guys follow up. It's super important just to make sure that they even got. So, you get the opportunity, say you get the opportunity to bid the property. Well, once you send them that proposal, I always kind of follow up and say, could you please make sure that you got, or let me know that you got this email, because I want to make sure that it didn't go into your spam folder. That's another point of contact. It's another way of connecting with that person, because then they may shoot you an email and say, I did get it and I do have a question. Does this include this, or does it include that? Or can you propose this? We have some other projects in the neighborhood. Maybe, they're not thinking about you, but you're shooting that email back to them and it gets them on your mind, or gets you on their mind. Anyway, so you've got your cold calling, you've got your emailing, you've got just your research that you have to do a little bit online. If you have somebody that can help you with that, looking up local management companies, looking up all the apartments that are in the area, you'd be surprised how many apartments are out there, and they're managed by one person. One person has 50 apartments. Well, not one person, but one company. And you get your foot in the door, you do one, maybe you can end up with 2 or 3. We've ended up with a lot of that. Same thing with assisted living facilities, same thing with, property management companies that manage multiple homeowners associations. If that's your thing, you're into that, that's cool. We do some HOAs, we do a lot of homeowners associations, businesses, assisted living places, we do, local store chains, just pretty much anything that's in the commercial world, very little residential. So how we got into that and how we built that is primarily just by what I'm telling you here, and then once you get one property, you can start pushing to get more of those. So, you get your foot in the door, you get one property, one commercial property. Now you can say, hey, I'm doing the, HOA down the street. I see that you have a nice entranceway. I'd certainly like to bid on that. And it's just a matter of getting your name out there. Like, you don't have to be a pest. You don't want to be a pest when you're dropping off cards and things like that. So you want to, go into these places. I usually would go, if I was going to go out and cold call, I'd go, in the morning, then take a break for lunch so I don't bother anybody at lunch, then go again after lunch and drop off cards. And I had a little leave behind that I think I have one out. Actually, I think we have some out here. Then I would just drop off with my card. Something real. This didn't cost a lot for us to make. It's got a little bit of information on the company, just like that. Pretty easy to make. The local copy company, or I'm not sure. Look online. I'm sure you can find somebody to send some pictures of your jobs and lay it out, and you'll have a nice little flyer to leave behind it. It still works. I know a lot of people do websites, and everybody's like into social media, whatever. And I love that stuff, obviously, but you still have to, in my opinion, it helps to have a leave behind so that they have something. So anyway, so to recap, you want to get out there, get your name out there, however you do it, whether you're doing emails, doing some cold calling, whatever you can do to get your foot in the door, number one. Number two, make sure that you do follow up. Even if you send an email out introducing yourself, you could send another one just to follow up to make sure if you get the potential to bid that property, then make sure you get that bid to them in a timely manner, before they want it. I try to get it like the day of or the day before, get their deadline. When do you want this? When are you making your decision? Because you want to know, are you going to make your decision in September, or are you going to make your decision in April of next year, 3 days before we have to do the first cut? So that's always important to know. A lot of times they'll tell you, but sometimes they're like, hey, we don't know, but thanks for the proposal. Again, you want to be able to at least have some communication with that person who's in charge of the contracts for your commercial properties that you're going to be bidding on. So anyway, I hope that this helps a little bit. I got to get out because I got to go look at some properties today, by the way. And thanks for watching. If you like what you're seeing, hit the like button, hit subscribe. If you have any questions for me, throw them in the comments down below. If you want to book a coaching session, I do those generally on Fridays between 12 and 4, and I will put my link to that below. So if you guys are interested in that, please, hit me up, let me know, shoot me an email. I also have an e-zine that I put out once a week. If you want to get on there, just shoot me an email and I will send that to you every week. Okay? All right, thanks for watching. I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great one.